Hey there, brewers, Ryan here from the Brewcraft BrewTube channel. Today I'm just going to give you a little bit of a rundown on how to get your beer from your fermenter into your keg correctly, alright? Because there's been a lot of questions on how to get it there, so I thought, well, today I'm going to actually show you, alright? It's pretty easy. The most important part here, guys, is again sanitization. Obviously your kegs need to be sanitized. Make sure the product little pipe that's in there is also sanitized. Let your sanitizer, your no-rinse sanitizer, lie in there for about 10-15 minutes to make sure it's 100%. And then also, guys, just the top side here of the keg, also flip it over. Let it also lie in the sanitization for a while. Alright, so sanitization, again, like with any beer, is pretty important. Okay. So what we've got here today, we've got our copper ton kegging system. Alright, we've got our 2 copper ton kegs, and if you come over here and have a look here quickly. Alright, in the kegging system we've got a awesome regulator. What's the nice thing about this regulator, it's got this rubber housing because these things fall over so easily. Alright, it's got a nice easy knob to turn here. It's not just a screw thread, got an on-off pressure. And also, great feature, it's got the pressure release here, so you're never actually ever going to overcarbonate your beer, not easily. Alright, so that's great feature. Then also in the kegging system, we've obviously got the kegging system manual. In the manual, in the system we've got the product ball connector, and we've got a line and a gas connector. This particular kegging system has got a beer gun. There's some systems that have got a fridge tap, so you can have a choice, alright? And then another great thing is we've got 2 refurbished kegs, pressurized, tested, everything's been done. You can see they're still nicely sealed, alright? The great feature about these kegs that most kegs don't have is this little pressure release valve, alright? If you ever do carbonate, or you making a start and you want to undercarbonate, you want to slow it down, you can just release it. Great feature to have on all kegs. So look out for those when you're buying kegs. Alright. So that's the kegging system that's the kegging system we're using here today. So we've got 2 beers here that we fermented. One, we've got a New Zealand Pale Ale with some green bullets and some kiwi hops in there, New Zealand hops. Great hops, great aroma. Then on this side we've got a stout, nice full-bodied stout. We've only filled it to 18 litres, so it's going to be a great beer. But what we did was we put a little bit of butterscotch into it, just to enhance and give it a bit of a different character. Alright, so right now, and over there, sorry guys, we've got the kegging systems and coils, which I'll get back into on another clip after this some other time. Alright, but today I'm going to show you how to keg it into this case. So we're going to start with the butterscotch stout. Alright, obviously you would have taken your hydrometer, checked your reading, check it's finished fermenting, and you're ready to go. Alright, so when we start kegging, we normally want to get a little bit of trub, a little bit of gunge that might be left on the top of the sediment reducer. So I always tend to tap off the half a glass into a glass. Whether I'm bottling or kegging, this is something I do all the time anyway. Alright, so close it up. Have a smell. Oh, this is going to be a great beer. Alright, so when we're kegging and bottling, we drink beer. Alright, so that's perfect, ready to go into the keg. So what we've got here, we've got our little bottling tube, sanitized already. Alright, my hands have been sanitizing as well. So the tube must be sanitized inside and outside, because the tube needs to go right down to the bottom of the keg. You don't have oxygen in your keg. Alright, so remove the lid. Again, put the lid somewhere where it's upside down, so you're not going to get it dirty and sanitization. Alright, now what you need to do in your keg, you need to purge it. When we say purging, we're meaning put some CO2 into your cylinder, and then you're going to tap your beer and the CO2 is going to be pushed out, and the oxygen is outside. You don't want the oxygen coming into contact with your beer. Hence, we're going to run it down to the bottom of the keg. No splashing, no oxygen. It's just going to be perfectly into the keg, right? So I'm going to drop this into the keg. Alright, run it down to the bottom nicely. I'm going to connect this to my I'm going to connect it to my tap. Okay, I'm going to connect it to the tap here. Alright. So what you can do is you can actually carbonate it. You can purge it with your cylinder. You can just blow a bit of CO2 into your keg. But I've got a little gadget that I like to use. It's actually one of those little paintball games where it's just a little hand gun, and all I do is I'm just going to blow in CO2 in there. As you can see, the CO2 is coming out. Alright, so now I know what's happened is the CO2's gone in and all this oxygen has come out. So I've got a layer of CO2 line in there right now. And next step, let's loosen up here so we don't get the bubbler pulling all the guns through into your beer, because you're going to get the pressure going down now. And away we go. We let it running from the bottom. As you guess, there's no splashing because the pipe's right down at the bottom. We've got the CO2 coming up, so the beer's coming up, the CO2 is always sitting on top of the beer. No oxygen is coming into contact with the beer at this stage. Alright, so while I'm waiting for that, let's have another sip. Hey guys, okay, so we're coming here now towards the end, so we're going to just angle the keg a little bit so we can get most of the beer out. But again, we don't want too much of the sediment, so just keep an eye on it, and we're basically done. Alright, done. Okay, so if you ever wanting to harvest your yeast, guys, this is the next stage to harvest your yeast, which you're going to do harvesting your yeast in a different way, which I'm going to show you another video clip someday with that one as well. Alright, I'm not too crazy about harvesting yeast unless I'm brewing back to back, but otherwise, guys, use a dried yeast. They're good, they guarantee to give you the right results. Alright, okay, so we've tapped it off, close the tap. Now we need to remove everything. Alright. Alright, just drop that in the sink. Okay. Alright. So now, guys, we've got two connectors here. One obviously for the beer, and you'll see on the keg it says in, which would be the gas is going in and the beer would be going out. Alright, so you want the beer to be sitting about 2.5 centimeters above the little pipe that's just sitting here by the oxygen, the CO2 side. Alright, okay, so we put the lid back on, close it up. Alright, we can't just close it, guys, we need to pressurize it just to really seal it. So that's where your keg comes in now. Alright, I'm going to put the keg here, I'm going to turn it on. Alright, it's on already, and we just, great thing about these, watch how quickly they just slip on. It just slips on. Poof. There's no turning and battling and trying to squeeze down. Great, I love these. This is the new way to go for me. Alright, so what I've done is I've pressurized it. There may have been a little bit of oxygen that might have come in when I tapped it in. So all I'm going to do is that oxygen would have been forced to the top here because it's the lightest. Just release some of that oxygen that might have been sitting there. Alright, turn it on again, and my gas is here. It's ready to go. Alright, it's not carbonated, it's just been kegged. Alright, so now it has to go through carbonization. General rule of thumb, kegs will always carbonate better in cold room temperatures. Alright, in cold temperatures, in a fridge or something, it'll take about 48 hours at 32 psi. Alright, you leave it there, it'll carbonate over 48 hours. So, but for me, guys, I tend to prefer just setting my regulator on whatever pressure I want it, 2 bar, 1.5 bar, I leave it there, and I leave it there for a week. Every now and again, I just shake it up to give some voids in the keg, so that the CO2 can go into those voids and carbonate my beer nicely. And from there, we're going to connect it to the tap, connect the product line to our tap. Hey, party days after that. Guys, that's all for now. We leave it there. Going to put it in the fridge for 48 hours from now. We'll show you how to take it from here to the tap to your mouth, and different kegging systems. Cheers and happy kegging, guys.